I'm here. Just doing an evening stream. I think I'm going to start trying to do morning streams when I wake up, and then a topic stream mid afternoon. I think we're gonna. I'm gonna move from the 2 p.m. slot to a 3 p.m. slot and do a topic, and then a stream in the evening. That's a third space hangout stream. So that's what this is. I just put the link. Um, so it is an open panel, and I was looking at the news, and it looks like the far right is sweeping the European election. France, Germany. I'm reading about it now. Oh, did I pin it? Yeah, it's pinned. Okay. Oh, and don't forget, I started a donation page, a coffee Ko-fi thing. I should put that too. Uh, until we get monetized, because I plan to put a lot of more hours into this to build it up. So, all right, here's the Ko-fi link. Hey, Frank. Yeah, I don't know why either. I thought you were watching a movie. You want to come up on panel and tell your the black on the dark brown. I know. You want to tell your Santa story? What are y'all watching? Did y'all decide? She's smirking. Y'all come on panel, or I wish there was a way to hook the Discord to the stream. That's probably asking for trouble, even if there is. That's dancing with the devil. So yeah, tomorrow when I wake up, whatever time that is, I'm gonna do a little coffee time, just kind of a chat. I want the morning times to be more intimate and more wake up. So it'll be like one or two people, or if they're going to be like hand-picked, hand-curated guests. I'm going to start getting a little more fussy about the guests to have on. And the evening streams will be the third space, where more or less everybody can show up, and then they might get backstage periodically depending on how the conversation flows. Well, we live once, and it's a short life. Yeah, later, Gator. Take care. All right, so back to let's see this election thing. Um, Far right parties rattled the traditional powers in the European Union, dealing an especially humiliating defeat to French President Emmanuel Macron on a night where the 27 member bloc, let's see, Italian Prime Minister, sensing a threat from the Christian Democrats of the EU Commission, President Ursula. I don't know what I'm reading about. I feel so ignorant about this stuff. I really am. I'm a Western chauvinist, but even more than that, or maybe only because of that, only because I'm an American chauvinist. And I really am one of these people that, if it doesn't happen in America, it doesn't stay on my radar. Even if I hear about it, I'm not going to really pay attention. It's that monotropism. And I have monotropism for America and within America from the regions that I got acculturated to and grew up in. It's harder for me to code switch. That's common with autistic people. When you move from one culture to another, or from one like casual environment to professional, lower class to upper class, etc. I was reading about, I'm still delving into the kind of the roots, the origin of rationality and reason. And people talk about the collapse of Rome, but thank you, Frank. I'm cheer. No, I'm really good. In fact, I'm talking about one of my special interest topics. So my brain is going into that creative mode, or at least that engaged, curious, intellectually excitable mode. So it's hard to be anxious at this. I haven't been anxious anyway. Um, I'm fine. I am just trying to get the stream like going again in some kind of stable way. Um, okay, I forgot what I was talking about. This happens every time I look at your comments. The birth of reason, rationality, et cetera, et cetera. Oh yeah, and people talk about the collapse of Rome, but I'm seeing so many parallels to because in Greece, in Athens particularly, you see the rise of this second way of thinking and looking at the world, and then you see the reaction to it from the mythological, kind of religious and superstitious side. And I think that has a lot of instructive parallels and analogs to stuff going on now. So like, because you get to see in that collapse, the society that's collapsing is Greek rationalism. It was like a very quick little peak and then collapse. Plato was almost the peak, and and it collapsed because the religious culture that it was developing from reacted against it, and we kind of see that now a little bit. And then in Hellenism, remember it looked at all the Eastern religions and started to abstract theoretical constructs and ideologies from them, and then those religions rose up in reaction against that rationalistic like impulse to critique their religion. So this seems to be a pattern and a cycle that just ripples throughout history all the way up to our day. But it starts in Athens with the Greek Enlightenment, sophistry, and then the Platonic and Socratic reaction to that, and then the reaction of the original kind of superstitious culture to the rationalism, etc. So the whole point of all of this is within that rational culture as it rose, it was a culture. Before that, all of the education was the education of the elites, the aristocrats. It wasn't public education like we know it. And along with this culture of rationality that developed, which I very much consider myself part of, the culture of intellectualism, there developed this set of social manners, social values that are associated with the upper class. So there's intellectual elitism, which I suppose I have some of, especially with the giftedness. And then there's like a form of social elitism that developed alongside of it. And what I'm realizing from reading all this is I very much identify, I feel a deep spiritual connection. It's like a spiritual home to me, watching kind of the Western intellect develop historically. I relate to that. It's part of my own story. But at the same time, I'm watching the rise of this upper class aristocratic society and the elitism that goes with that. And it's the same elitism that I abhor when I see it today in the upper, like especially the upper class liberal circles, like the people in tech. My ex was one of them, and the people in his crowd. And they're all the kind of people that Cajuns don't like anyway. We call them les Américains. They were the like when America got us, they came and settled our area, and so they were like the wealthy, uppity white people that looked down on everybody else and thought they were better than everybody else and smarter than everybody else. But particularly in Greece, it was like etiquette around language and speech, and how like speaking clearly, and that's the big barrier for me in that society, because I have a articulation. I was in speech therapy, articulation disorder. I'm Cajun. I grew up with Cajun English. Like when you're Cajun and they come to you or your parents and they say like, lady, your child got an articulation disorder, like, you're in for some trouble. When the Cajuns think, like, they identify that your speech is fucked up when you're born, like at an early age. And so I was in speech therapy. Hey, Ken, what's up? You're live right now. Oh, cool. Can I restream it? Or I saw you live the other day, and I was tempted to restream, and I said, "This kid's hot. I don't know if I could take a chance on him." And so I admire that you walk that edge, and but it was an edge, and so I opted to. I guess the wisdom in me kicked in. I'm getting old, and I opted not to restream you. But yeah, I'd love to catch up and chat, see what's going on. Um, was it so? Anyway, the whole point of all of this, I'm just really trying to fill in space until somebody shows up. Um, is that I identify with the intellectualism of that movement and that development, but not the upper class elitism and that comes along with it. And so it kind of within that culture, I'm noticing this split that of intense affinity and intense antipathy. And when I moved to Seattle and I started, because I was in those circles growing up, like a lot of the people at that little school I went to, I would say fit in that upper class intellectual circle, the private school crowd. And but it was a very unique environment. It wasn't a normal upper class environment. But I was socialized well in that one, but the giftedness, it was what was always bonding us together. Um but outside of that, I don't have a lot of experience moving in those circles. So when I moved up here and I was thrown into that, we talked about that ethnographic boundary that forms when two cultures meet. There was that's kind of the same boundary I'm noticing form between like the culture of mythologism before rationalism, and then rationalism develops. You see that like really clean split between the two cultures. Hey Bex, what's up? Are y'all watching something? Ozarks? Hey Daniel Barry, good to see y'all. Wow, it's like the whole gang is here. I'm gonna start streaming more. I'm gonna try to do morning, midday, and evenings. And I may not hit all three every day, but that'll give me something to do in the morning. I won't have to wait till noon to stream, and then I can do a topic at the. I'm gonna move from the 2 p.m. to the 3 p.m. slot and do a topic, and then the evening at some random time I'll open a evening hangout, and I think that'll give me a nice little flow to my day, and then that gives me some blocks of time between that to get work done, so I can intersperse a work day with some streaming, and kind of keep the stream going. All right, I was talking about like oh yeah, the upper class intellectual crowd. Um, Even with the ex, we bonded very much over philosophy and our intellectual passions and curiosities. We had grown up reading the same books and listening to the same music and watching the same movies and everything. And but socially, it was like this. It was we could not have been more opposite. And so I think people that grew up in modern day traditional intellectual environments, like would have been traditional pre-democracy in aristocratic archaic Greece, grow up with like a different sense of intellectualism than I grew up with. Mine comes from the definitely not culturally. Culturally, I'm very working class. We're a French folk culture. Um, and semi-urban. We weren't living in the swamps or anything. We had a modern city, small city, and we lived in a small town, etc. So it was Cajun American. It was a blend of Cajun culture and American culture, but and intellectually, I think it comes from the autism, the neurodivergence, the giftedness, because that was all innate at an early age. As a kid, I was pretty much left on my own. As long as I wasn't getting in trouble or doing anything dangerous to myself, which sometimes I was, um they kind of let me do. So I ran around outside, I climbed trees, I played around in the woods, I would climb on the roofs and explore old buildings, whatever took my fancy. And intellectually, I would read books, encyclopedias. We had the Childcraft encyclopedias and the World Book, and I would just like sit there and for just hours and read those encyclopedias. And so I kind of developed on my own, even before I went to school and outside of school. School was not very stimulating to me. Um, but that reminds me, I have something to show y'all. Maybe tomorrow we'll do show and tell. Um, so mine wasn't like a socially handed down intellectualism. It was an innate and self-acquired intellectualism. I was an autodidact. I very much was self-taught. If I was interested in something or wanted to learn something and I had a demonic curiosity, I was interested in everything. And if anything caught my eye or my interest, even slightest, I was jumping down that rabbit hole. And so I knew how to do all of that on my own as a kid. I had library cards. I knew how to work the school library. We had the bookmobile, y'all, and it would park on the corner that our house was on. And I would get so excited in the summers when the bookmobile would come. And so I knew how to access information as a kid. And I probably had more access to information than even the teachers at the school or anybody in that village. I knew how to educate myself on things that I was interested in. And so that's the kind of intellectualism that when I take pride in being an intellectual, that's the kind of intellectualism I'm standing for. And that developed side by side. It was all one kind of historical complex when it developed, but experientially, it's two very different things to me. And one of them is clearly preferable to me and more authentically me than the other type. In fact, that's kind of one of there were so many issues between us, but that was one of the big ones, is his elitism and I didn't mind the intellectual elitism. I related to it myself, although his was obnoxious and kind of disgusting at times. But the social elitism, like I said, he wanted to sterilize poor people, like didn't want them to breed, and he didn't, like, if he was out at a store, the cashier or something, it was beneath, they were beneath contempt to him. The fact, like, he wouldn't even deign to even try to make conversation with them. They were a different species in his mind, just different class. He was very Ayn Rand, John Galt, that kind of person. Like the masses were not his people. I don't know who was actually, but he was a kind of a misanthropic hermit, exactly the type you think that I would be drawn to. So anyway, yeah, and I'm doing these panels with the idea that people are wanting panels to go on, but if they're just going to be ghost towns and tumbleweeds, I might not even do the evening panels. The midday panels will at least let me get topics out when I need to. And the morning panels is just a nice way to start the day. Let me see what's going on with Ken, Noel, and Wigs. Who are they? I don't know. Trippy Cat. Oh, Trippy Cast. I remember the clown. If y'all remember, he dropped by one day. He's doing something. Oh, he's just like watching restreams. So yeah, not really a lot going on. I don't see Flo streaming. Imp Dave looks like he's doing video games. Ken really he's the big game in town right now, which is good. He has 13 watching, which is like 6.5 more than I have, and he has he's been going for an hour. Here, let me give him his like. I always do like and share because somebody said if you hit if you copy the shared link, it helps the algorithm too. I don't know if that's true, but I got in the habit of doing it. All right, I'm determined to find something to do. I don't want to just keep doing. If I wait a while, maybe the people will show up. So they're all at Ken's. I'm looking in the chat now, and I think Talcott streamed earlier, and some of them were over there. All right, well, I'm gonna just hang out, and I'm not ready to stop, so I'll find something to do. Let me see. Let me get my notes. I do have my little gay notebook here, and I was jotting down some notes of like topics to fill in with. This is actually, it says peer pathways. It was from our peer conference here in Washington State. So this is the peer support field. It wasn't the gay field, although it's oh yeah, I was going over the y'all know in Greece, like they have 9 different types of love. They have 9 different words that signify some type of love. And I was looking at the other day, so I thought that would be a good topic to go over. In fact, I guess we could. Let me pull up the website. Nine different types of love, according to the ancient Greeks. And it's interesting because it's not just a list of types. They some of them build on each other, or are related to each other, or work in tandem with each other. And again, came from Greece, but I think you'll recognize a lot of them. They show up in our modern society still to this day. No, first one is eros, sexual desire. That's that infatuation, like when you get turned on by somebody, or you want a bone. That's eros. It's also a desire to possess the person, that the jealousy and the passion for them. It's a potent and overwhelming sensation. It can affect decision making. It says it had its own god in Greeks, and sometimes it would descend on people just out of the blue, and sometimes accompanied by madness. We maybe have all known states where we had like a crush on someone and just went insane with eros, or especially like after a breakup, sometimes that can intensify that because now it's forbidden. It's out of reach forever. So your imagination gets involved, thinking about all the could be, and it magnifies it. That kind of erotic passion, that fire, that Satan. Philia, that's the soul connection. That's platonic love. That's the deep spiritual connection you have with somebody else. Like when I imagine, I don't want to speak for other people when they say love is the answer, or we're all love, or we can all have this loving connection with each other. It's kind of this human to human or soul to soul spiritual connection. You can see it between friends, family members. It says it's not as overwhelming or euphoric or exciting as eros. It's not that passion, that fire, but it's more stable, rewarding, and fulfilling in the long term. And that's the kind of relationship Mike and I had. Like any relationship I've had, there's like a few first months. Like with Mike and I, it was 6 months, and we started out very early living together. And so it was like a 6-month little adjustment period, which we navigated very well. We both had the maturity. We were both really good at listening and responding, and having the goal of understanding each other take priority over anything else in the conversation. And so we talked through things really well. And we laid a good foundation for a stable relationship based on our mutual affection, admiration, respect for each other. And so once we did that, that just grew like over the time, just slowly over the years. It just kept growing and growing and growing to the point where, and then like the eros was mixed in with that, the love making. That's truly the making love part. That's the only time that's ever happened for me is with Mike. Um, so that was like the eros and the philia together. And the article even says that the ancient philosophers believed that the two work best alongside each other and they strengthen each other and the bond between two people. Um, Adding philia to eros turns a possessive love into one built around shared goals and happiness. And the Plato believed that the combination led to the highest form of love, a friendship between lovers. And I would say that's what Mike and I had. We had a very deep friendship and the intense sexual passion that all united into like some higher spiritual thing. And fuck, I thought of something else, but I forgot it. Let me see if there's comments. No. Um, all right, let's see. I did have something else to say. Oh, right. It came to the point where it felt like two souls in one body. Like we were feeling and thinking in tandem with just instinctive, just organically with each other. And when I lost him, that was that sense of having like half of my own soul like split away from me. That's how strong this soul connection, this philia was. Um, so it's very powerful form of love. And again, another one we see today. So the Greeks were describing, I think, phenomena that are enduring in the human condition, or at least the Western condition. Then you have storge, which is they classify it as a variation of philia, that soul connection, and they say it usually relates to love within a family, and it's a little more one-sided. It's like on the part of one person toward another, but it's not necessarily reciprocated by the other. They said, for example, a parent that cares for a child, maybe a teacher or a mentor, and it says they both tend to be highly natural, biological, and instinctual. I think storge is kind of more this nurturing love, this impulse to nurture or educate, maybe, um, or socialize or ensure the survival of. And they say it usually occurs between married couples who are raising a family together. And it's a form of love valued in Western culture, particularly within the Christian faith. I guess this sense of the trad wife and husband and being a servant to your husband, etc. Like she has a role, he has a role. Um, so storge. Then you have pragma, and you can kind of see how all of these work together within a couple or a family reunion unit, etc. Like you're brought together by eros, you develop that strong friendship or soul bond between each other. You might all make sacrifices either for each other or for the children, where it's that storge type that's more one-sided, and it's trying to kind of nurture and secure the future of somebody and keep them safe. And then you have pragma, which is they translate it as mature love, but it's the kind of love that makes things work. And on a larger level, it's the kind of like love for your fellow man that makes society work. It's based on duty, reason, shared goals. It's the practical stuff that keeps a couple together, keeps relationships together. They say it's not very romantic, but it's essential within families and even close friendships. Um, Making life and career choices, not just with yourself in mind, but with other people in mind, carrying out your daily chores, your duties, responsibilities in a workplace. It's the day to day. It's kind of the respect you have for a group working on a shared goal that bonds you together and keeps you kind of focused on a goal together, so that you're motivated to do this daily upkeep that it takes to keep those bonds going and the project going. It does say it's perhaps the most difficult to develop and maintain, as it requires continual effort, dedication, and often selflessness. This is what I wonder if this is related to intrinsic motivation, which is what I work off of. Like when I'm involved in a project, it's because I have this intrinsic drive to want to see it succeed, and I know that there's going to be a certain amount of like busy work I'm going to have to put into it, like this pragma stuff, but that's part of a larger project that make it like adds meaning. So it's not just busy work. It's this larger body of meaning that it's part of. And that meaning is, it could be the other types of love in a relationship, or in the case of a community, it could be the bonds that tie the community together, which would also be that philia stuff. And then another type is ludus, which is playful love. And I'm very familiar with this type, being Cajun. It's a hedonistic, casual type. It's your drinking buddies. It's your play people. It's you call your girls when you want to have a girls' night out. It's often expressed through flirting, teasing, seduction, casual sex. It's the bond you form with people that you can laugh and have fun with, and be real light about life. Careful and carefree and playful love, they describe it. And they say it shares many qualities with eros, but it's not limited to physical or sexual relationships. So like the swinger culture, the polyamorous culture, where people are the sex positive, or maybe even the kink culture, where it's kind of real playful and fluid, like eros is. It's not tied to one person. Could be a combination of ludos and eros. But ludos can also they give examples like dancing, drinking, etc., like that. So people that you do fun activities with, and that connection that forms between you is a form of ludus. And then mania is the obsessive love, where you get obsessed or attached to a person to the point of where it's not healthy, and you might stalk them and become obsessed with them. Your emotional stability suffers, jealousy, possessiveness, etc. The word mania and manic is used in psychiatry to describe certain components of mental illness, etc., etc. It says even a slight obsession can be fairly common in the early stages of a relationship. In the long term, the excesses of it, if it's not balanced by these other forms of love, it can lead to dependency and even stalking or violence. So this is the type that can get really out of the attachment that can go really bad. And I've had some of the obsession here and there about a person, but I'm pretty good at like getting over that part of it. But I've had some of this directed at me in the past. I've had stalkers. And I've stalked a little bit back when I was like learning stuff, but eventually I learned. Like I grew up. Then there's another word. This is a modern Greek word. It's called Meraki. And it's actually Turkish. It derives from a Turkish word, and it's the love involved when you're doing something creative, your creative passion, when you're doing what you love, painting, singing, cooking, decorating, whatever. And it's the love you put into your craft, or whatever gives you meaning in your life. It's the love that connects you to your meaning, and the love that you put into creativity. Then this one, I think I want to spend a little bit of time on this one. Philautia or Philautia. Philautia. And by the way, I put the link to this article in the chat. I'm just kind of going over it just to fill in time. It's content. AUT is Greek for self. You will know it from words like autism, autonomy, auto. I mentioned autodidact earlier. And in the Greek conception, at least in Aristotle's conception, he didn't conceive it as a negative thing. He thought it was necessary to have a healthy love for the self in order to be able to form these healthy connections with other people. And so that it was an essential component of these other types of love, and that individuals who love themselves are usually more capable of both giving and receiving these types of love. As an autist, I wouldn't call it love, but with autistic people, the center of gravity is kind of the self. I don't know how it is with neurotypicals. It might be more group oriented, but with autistic people, the center of gravity is definitely the self, center of processing, the center of emotional reaction. Um, and there's the concept of confluence, which I think I've explained it before. Like when neurotypicals get together, or let's say non-autistic people, they kind of meld or flow somehow. There's this Dionysian um, something that they kind of just all adjust to each other silently and quickly. In fact, I had some cousins come to Seattle a few years ago to visit. They were Cajun, and they were like me. They were definitely from Cajun culture. It was very country comes to town. And I could see for the first time, because that was the first and only time I've been in Seattle with other Cajuns other than myself. And I could see all the little things they were reacting to about Seattle that I was reacting to. And I'm like, oh my God, it's not just me. This stuff really is weird, right? We're from the same culture and we're all experiencing this the same way. But what I also noticed them do is they were able to notice it and then adjust to it. And so over time, they were here for like a weekend. By the end of the weekend, they were noticing and adjusting those little things. And so they were like integrating themselves into the Seattle experience. And with autistic people, I don't have the ability to do that. And other autistic people report not having the ability to do that. And they call it confluence, where it it's like when two rivers come together and they flow into each other. And there's little resistance to integration. But with autistic people, it's like a rock in the middle of those two rivers, and we don't flow together into the other people, so we stay ourselves, and everything flows around us, and so we stand out because we're not able to like meld in with these other people, and that's called confluence. And so that ought part that roots us in ourselves and prevents that confluence is one of the features of autism, maybe the one of the core features, and it could be related to that monotropism we talked about on one of the streams. So it's when it becomes pathological or malignant. Like I say all the time, we're all on the narcissism is a spectrum, and we all have a little bit of it. Infants, toddlers are narcissistic. They're only concerned with their immediate needs. They're not even aware other people exist. Eventually, we mature out of that and develop deeper, richer, more complex ways of looking at the world and ourselves, and et cetera. But if you get locked into that, either through autism, narcissism, whatever, and it becomes malignant, and it becomes megalomania, monomaniacal, egoistic, etc. Which I have some of that. I'm definitely, I don't know if I'm on the narcissism spectrum, but I'm definitely on the ego spectrum. Um, and the Greeks had the concept of hubris, like when it reaches a certain point, you actually put yourself at risk because you catch the attention of fate and the gods, and you could get struck down and like take a fall from hubris. Um, but it also helps you, like having a healthy sense of self-love, or this phalaria, helps you be more resilient. It helps things roll off of you easier. It helps you not take things so personally. If you know who you are, people have less power to affect you. Or you are not, for whatever reason, you don't give them as much power to affect you. That's how I was like growing up gay. I had so many people try to tell me what gay was. Like people that were not gay themselves tried to explain gay to me. It was a demon, or I was going to hell, or it was sin, or it was something in the womb, or my mama didn't raise me. Like they had all these opinions and explanations about it, but I was the one that was experiencing it. So I would listen, but I didn't internalize any of it because I had a healthy sense already of what that was. So I didn't need them to tell me what gay was. I knew what it was. So it's kind of like that applied to your sense of self, like just your larger sense of self. And then the final one is agape, which I know from like church and religious settings, but it's the unconditional love. This is I think the Jack Talcott type of love. It's the love you have for humanity. It's selfless. It's altruistic. In fact, the article says it seems fair to argue that a society without agape would be unable to function, as we're dependent on one another as a species. I would say interdependent. That's one thing. That's one place I think the libertarians go wrong. Is I think that they see themselves as more independent of society than they actually are. We're all interdependent, and agape is kind of that feeling that you have to kind of have in some sense, unless you're a sociopath, to keep society going. Like even it's total strangers, and you're never going to see and talk to half of them, but you have to have some kind of goodwill toward them, that you're all participating in something positive and good for humanity. And so it's kind of that universal love for humanity. It shows up in Christianity. It shows up in some areas in humanism, like the early humanist. Um, so anyway, agape, y'all are probably more familiar with that. So that was just something to fill time. Let me see if wow, I went up by 2 viewers. I doubled. Welcome whoever's here. If you want to come on panel, feel free. Oh, Ken just ended. Okay. And Mr. Ratblood is on playing his channel. I think it's just a slow season. I really do think it's summer. You don't want to come up, Provo? You're very unpredictable and idiosyncratic. Some days you're like flying up here in a rush. It's when the other Spurgs are on that you come up, I guess. And then some days you're like, I don't even want to be anywhere near this channel, except I'm in the comment sections letting everyone know I don't want to be involved. But welcome. Glad to see you. I do have agape and probably for some a little bit of philia toward you. So yeah, it's good to see you. There's very few names that pop up in the comments where I'm like, oh my God, that person's here. I'm usually happy to see almost every single person that pops up. Y'all like my Pee Wee's Playhouse gang. When the doorbell rings, he's so excited. He's like, let's go see who's here. And he opens the door, and it's like some crazy character. He's like, oh, ha, ha. Cowboy Curtis. Ha, what are you doing today? That's how I feel. Like, look, Hank right here. Hey, Hank's here. Likes to dominate those. Well, that's a natural instinct, I think, to dominate. I have it. I've seen other people have it. People try to do it to me. That's part of the Hobbesian state of nature. But that's just one layer of us. We have that like civilized Apollonian layer that we can access through reason and reasoned cooperation to kind of rise above that and keep something better than that going. But yeah, he might like to dominate. He's not always successful, but it's fun watching him try. Sometimes he is. Sometimes he pulls off some impressive trolling. Hank, I saw you on like 2 or 3 panels already today. Every time I pull up a panel, it's Hank. I think you were on Talcott. What was the one I saw after that? I don't remember. I scrolled through so many panels. I don't even watch TV anymore. I'm like Survivor ended, the season's over. So yeah, Base Historical. That was the one. Because it was Flow was restreaming. I was watching it through Flow. That's what it was. Well, you can hop on here if you want. You have it all to yourself. Get whatever message you want out. I'm gonna try to keep it going to the hour mark. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe we can keep it going for 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna show up for morning coffee, or at least morning coffee on my end, whatever time I wake up. I'm not waking up special for it, but when I wake up and get going, I'll do a little short stream to check in. We can all have coffee or whatever beverage or substance together, and kind of start your day. And I'll start mine, and then I'll do the topic. I'm gonna do the finish that hero's journey thing, and that won't be at 2 p.m. anymore. I'm gonna bump it to 3 p.m. That's gonna be my new midday time. A lot of this is gonna be me experimenting with time slots because I'm trying to get a sense of what people show up at what times, and then try to schedule my streams so that the most amount of people can show up for them. Because I want to. I'm building this towards the community with the community in mind, and I can flex to whatever the needs of the community are. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm going to probably be shifting the time slots around a little bit the next week or so, just to give me a sense. But once I get that, I'll start doing some. I'm going to shoot for 3 streams a day: morning, midday, and evening, and each one will be a different type of stream with different types of content. So, and the evenings will be the open panel, like hangout type, like this, kind of the free for all third space. And here is Mr. Hank with his matching fedora and shirt.
Perfect. Yep. Coincidentally, a different one than I was wearing earlier today.
Oh, you changed already?
Yes, I was wearing purple then, and I'm wearing red.
Oh. Do you have one of each, or you have like multiple purples?
Multiple purples, multiple reds.
Okay.
I'm about to flip my wardrobe because I've been wearing through my pants because of work. So I had to start procuring more clothes.
Cool. Well, what have you been up to? What's going on in the Panelverse?
So I was streamed Officer Snaps' stream on his new channel. New channel. I got a whole bunch of people coming on and making accusations and confessing things, so that was very productive.
Like PDF pogo type accusations?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no receipts though, but the accusations are fine.
Oh yeah, I think that's a bit. I think they try. That's like getting initiated into the Panelverse. They throw that at everybody and see what happens. It's just a routine at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. And pretty much what I usually do is say, okay, you had the accusation. Do you have any evidence? And in fact, it's so wired up. I mean, when Brandon Looney Tunes asked Officer Snaps a softball question, what's his favorite Looney Tune, he couldn't answer it. That was hilarious.
That's hilarious that Brandon Looney Tunes is somehow involved in all this snafu drama. Boy, did he wander into maybe not the wrong side of the Panelverse.
It's not the wrong side. I mean, I think he's used to this kind of stuff, so
he brought the Looney Tunes crew into the snafu crew.
he has his own what's it called? Rose Gallery Trolls. He's used to. That's why he has that 18+ audio emoji.
Oh.
Yeah, Brandon has his own 18+ audio emoji. So he's in fact he was up. He had fans when I think I was trying to prepare for that debate that went over like a lead balloon because the guy just didn't.
Oh yeah, what did it happen at all, or what happened?
No, we didn't. So he didn't. His crap didn't work properly. His stage didn't get the audio through. And I wasn't going to debate unless it was recorded, and he refused to come up to StreamYard, which I could prove it was working. So I said, no, I'm not going to bother. So I just went to the normal religion room on the modern day debate Discord and just talked to those people.
But you didn't get to actually Are you? Do you have a debate with Forrest Valkai scheduled, or is this something
We
you're
don't
just?
know. He did. So pretty much, I know I have him. Pretty much, I haven't made it on this thing. On this topic, but he abused his moderation powers to sneak out. So I just hung up the phone on him, and then I challenged him. I wanted to challenge him because I knew I could get him if he didn't have his mods.
So you
So
tried to debate him, and he
yeah,
somehow,
yeah.
and so you want
I
to give it a
called him
chance.
on his call-in show, and he was pretty much. I got him.
Is there a
He
clip?
had followed his position and just admit I was right, except the fact that he abused his mom to get out of it. So I'm challenging him because I know I can totally beat him with his worldview. He's going to change his worldview if he gets challenged on this aspect that I'm using against him.
Do you have a clip of when you called in? What show was that on?
It was the line. I don't have a clip, but I do know I do have it in my playlist.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I didn't know you had called it. Wow. Yeah, because I he came on my radar a few years ago. He did some video about gender and stuff, and it was so obnoxious.
Yeah, he's very obnoxious. He's a weak debater. I know I can make him to concede that I'm right. But he abuses mods to get out of the problem. So I'm going to keep challenging him because I know I'll beat him.
Well,
So
I would love to see debate. I hope you get at least get your shot.
yeah, but pretty much I'll keep rabble rousing till I have enough clout to he has no other option but to debate me
You
with
go, you
with with
gay
it
black.
recorded and properly moderated. Hopefully on the Crucible now.
Oh, like you might get him on the Crucible.
And Jim
Andrew
Bob
could
said
probably
would be a
sit
good
there.
idea. So and I've been
Andrew
on
would
his show
do
a few
it some
times.
content.
Andrew knows me, so I probably could get on the Crucible, but yeah, that's probably a good place to have it.
Didn't you didn't you go in their Discord one time and that didn't go so well? You were trying to
I'm still
debate.
on the Crucible Discord.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I haven't spent much time in the Crucible Discord. Pretty much all it says. Oh, the only thing I said there is that I did want to challenge Forrest Valkai to debate, and we couldn't
Oh,
schedule
in
it
the
because
debate.
Forrest didn't agree to it yet.
Okay.
The mate for Jim Bomb's Discord, I'm on there all the time still.
How's he doing?
He's doing really well. He's still routing atheist cages. He has his West Wall
Well, he
Street
hasn't come
thing.
over and rattled mine yet. He waits for people to go to him.
No, because he's been chasing people on TikTok too. So
Oh, right. He and Andrew do that TikTok invasion.
yeah,
Those are the kids, though. They all seem so young. I'm like, I guess YouTube kind of is too, but TikTok is extra young.
yeah, extra young and extra dumb.
It's like growing up, like watching Nickelodeon television. Their whole theme just had this young kitty cartoonish overlay to it, and that's what TikTok reminds me of.
Yeah,
It
I
seems like
agree.
it's made for young people.
Yeah, it makes sense because the Chinese people had time to their hands, so it also they'll make stuff for young people very well.
And they get educational content on theirs.
Yes, but yeah, I'm sure Jim Bob would like to talk to you. So
Well, I was supposed to go on his panel one day. He was live, and we were chatting in the comments, and he asked me to hop on, but I had to get ready for this stream. So I told him that I owe him a stream. Like, can we do a rain check? But then it never did happen. So I do owe him a conversation if
yeah,
he wants it. And it was about naturalism, because I'm a naturalist, and he's I guess a supernaturalist, or a metaphysicist.
yeah,
And it
I
was
consider
about
myself an yeah, I consider myself a naturalist too, but I'm an idealist rather than a physicalist. So I actually don't factor in supernatural because anything that's supernatural that's relevant will also be natural if we define natural as observable.
how does that comport? Your idealism comport with the Big Bang and the creation of the universe? Because it seemed like the ability to conceive or perceive ideas developed after the creation of matter. Like it supervenes onto matter. It's the theory of supervenience that naturalists use, and that's what Jim Bob and I were arguing about. Was supervenience.
I think matter supervenes onto mind, so it kind of doesn't
That
have
matter
any effect
supervenes on the
Big
mind
Bang.
and not
Yes.
vice versa. What then did the mind create the Big Bang?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I'm lost. That's where you lost me. 0 point field.
I'm not going to Vegas. I'm not.
What's going on in Vegas?
Jim Bob's going to Vegas.
Oh,
You do his same show except live.
on the strip?
Yep.
Oh my God, are they gonna even know who he is? Is he going there to like harangue them and condemn them for being hedonists?
No, I actually think he's just doing a show in a theater.
Like one of the casinos is hosting him to do a show, or he's just gonna go set up in their lobby.
Pretty much you could just rent space and he's gonna sell tickets.
Wow, which casino?
Theater. Actually, go check it. Let me check his website.
Right. This is the news. Maybe I can get a show in Vegas now. Wow.
You probably could.
I wear my antlers.
So it says, see Jim Bob. I might as well share the screen.
With Jay Dyer. Okay, now it's making sense.
Oh, I didn't know he was going with Jay.
So there's like an ortho show in Vegas. That's this. Oh my God. Culture is getting weird. This is fun, actually.
Mm-hmm. You see it?
See? Oh, yeah, I do see all the. Isn't he like a graphics person? This is
yes.
The best he could come up with. This
yeah,
is
he's
like
an
the
AV
80s
guy.
generic products.
So see Jim Bob live in Las Vegas.
He got top billing and Jay Dyer got second.
Absolutely.
Plus more are coming to Vegas. I wonder if Andrew's part of that more. They didn't invite me. How rude.
Well, you get the mission still.
Wait, 7221 West Sahara. Let me see what that is. Dance Training Prodigy Training Center. Was that 7211?
Yes, 7211 West Sahara Avenue, Las Vegas, Nevada.
It's at a dance school. Dance studio.
Yeah, we have those around here. Maybe I should do a show in the dance studio.
Let me see how often.
Or an art studio.
It's pretty off the strip. It's more toward Summerlin.
Yeah, it's cheaper to host there.
So basically, he just knows someone with a dance studio in Vegas that's letting him use it to do a show.
Yes.
It's okay.
Or Jay Dyer knows him.
Glad we can bring things down to earth here on this channel. I would like you do not have to ask if somebody wants to kidnap me and take me to Vegas. I will probably never come back. I used to live there. That's my favorite place on earth. I thrive in Vegas. I could walk around my antlers in the casinos and look all cute and everything. Hey, midlife, what's up? Come up and talk. Oh, we were also talking about a panel camping trip too, somewhere in the summer. So maybe we should. And
you could change jobs without you can move to a different state, change jobs, right? Because if so, you might as well just go back to Vegas.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I work from home. I could probably find a job a lot easier in Vegas. When I first got there, I used to scalp tickets on the strip. I loved it. I have to go from one casino to the other and buy show tickets for this travel agency, and then they would mark them up for the customers. But I couldn't let them know that I was buying it on behalf of the travel agency. I had to pretend to be a real customer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a fun job because it was kind of like you have to keep a cover and you get to zip all around the strip all day long in and out of these casinos. It was the perfect Vegas job.
Damn.
Lumberjacks allowed. Oh, right. Yeah. You could probably, of course, lumberjacks are allowed. Well, yeah.
As long as you're not Canadian, sure.
place that's central to every, like we could all get to. There's a lot of camping up here, but I don't know if everybody wants to fly up here. There might be some place more central. Well, what's going on tonight? Anything? Do you have a theory of why the panelverse is so slow lately? Is it summertime?
Yep, it's summertime.
That's what we figured.
And I wouldn't call it slow, to be honest.
Well, no one's been showing up at our, and hardly anyone's been streaming either. Like only a few people.
Different people have been streaming. Like I streamed a lot last week. Officers now to start doing streams. So I would say just different people are streaming because different people are available. It's like Smash TV's on right now. Limit Tommy's also on. Flow State's coming on later. So it's summer, so different people are available.
Cool. Well, I'm available now. I'm more and more available. So
I think Raging Tomatoes on too. So yeah, different people just become available through the season.
Yeah. Well, you work weekends, huh?
Yeah, I work Friday through Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
But the benefit is I get 2 business days off. And I actually just got my car inspected.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was. I did some trickery to make sure I went ahead and passed. First, went for a waiver instead of actually trying to get my catalytic converter replaced.
Oh, you're having car issues too?
No.
Oh.
No, my past inspection just fine, and the emissions. It just I had to check engine light because of the catalytic converter is old, and I'm not.
So
I'm not going to spend $4,000 to get another one. So my state has a policy that just allows me to get a waiver if I try to get it fixed, which cost me like 10% of the price of getting the actual fix, which was getting.
So wait, you deliberately paid to try to fix it, but knowing that it wasn't actually going to get fixed?
Yes, because that's how you get the waiver.
And the law says you could do that. Like if you try to fix it, that'll count.
Affirmative.
And you're like, okay, well then I'll just try to fix it.
Yes, because the actual fix was 10 times more expensive.
Wow. What? And so are the people you're paying to try to fix it know that they're only trying to fix it, or are they going to really try to fix it? So it's like a little dance that people do to get around.
Yes. If you're smart, you do the dance.
Hey, freak. Good evening. What's up?
Because the actual fix was just way too expensive. The actual fix is getting a new front catalytic converter, which costs for replacing pretty much the exhaust system. And no, I'm not paying. It would cost me $4,000 to do that. Dang. That's more than my car's worth. So
just to pass inspection.
Yeah, to get the check engine light.
That's slavery at that point.
Yes. So my lawmakers started ahead and said, well, there's people who can't afford to get the real fix for emissions. So they have waivers.
Do they do anything at all for the money? Like, do they have to, like turn a screw or something to pretend to fix it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I made sure that was the plan, so didn't waste too much time.
I hope they'll watch the stream. This is hilarious, dude. Well, if they put it in the law, you're not doing anything wrong.
Correct. It's the policy.
All right, it's their rules. You just played in them.
Yeah. So I'm following policy and code, and I got the waiver because there's no way I didn't know I was gonna get the money for replacing the exhaust system to pass emissions. But if you think I did the wrong thing, you can buy me a new catalytic converter and get the service done.
Put your Cash App or whatever. I need to drop my Ko-Fi link, by the way.
Uh, I have a cash app. Yeah, just
Oh,
email me. I'll
work it.
set something up. Well, listen, you can PayPal me. Yeah, yeah, you can PayPal me at oflamo@oflamo.com or oflamo3@gmail.com. I think so. You can just
This is the
PayPal me the money.
economy of the future. Panel hustling.
Yep.
I predict this will be big business in a few years. Speaking of, here's my Ko-Fi link, which I just made. For, people be
Yeah, that's right.
stealing.
The freak people
Oh
steal
wow!
catalytic converters for the platinum.
Wait, freak, you're in. Oh, Phoenix. Never mind. I read Portland. Okay, I was starting to feel way more sorry for you than I do. I almost moved to Phoenix after, when I had to leave Vegas. But that was one of the cities I was looking at.
Why are you in Washington, anyways?
Because I came up here for that guy, and I stayed. And the city. I thought I wanted to live in a blue state and a liberal city, and that was before gay marriage and everything. So like it was very natural for gay people to try to move to the cities.
Okay, it made sense
And
at
I
the time.
wanted to get out of Louisiana.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be in the South. I wanted to be somewhere progressive and civilized and advanced.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. It made sense at the time. Then you met the
And the
people. Yeah,
outdoors, like all the hiking and stuff. That was another big draw.
I think still good. But yeah, it was the right decision at the time.
No, actually, it was a terrible. It was a very wrong decision, but I made it anyway. I went
Ah,
against my daimon, my demon. My daimon was telling me, like it's with Socrates, "Don't do it, girl," and I ignored it, and I paid the price.
oh yeah, that happened to me with being going to college while wasting my time.
Yeah, I did too. But you knew at the time to not even bother.
I pretty much I thought it was gonna be it wasn't worth it, but we had like the, all the school people who happen to benefit more from people going to college than I thought. Telling me the same thing. When you have to go, you'll make $1 million less over your lifetime if you don't go. Um, and just keep pushing the propaganda, keep pushing online. Means like, oh, where we get the money from? Where you pay with it? No, you just have to do it. Just stop resisting. Just do it. Trust us.
So you did it because that was what society like laid out as the path that people like you would normally take.
Yeah, it says it'd be foolish not to do it.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, like because that was the fact. Most people were expected to graduate high school. You weren't expected to, but if you wanted any kind of decent opportunity, college was the best way to do that. So most people planned to take that route because it was the easiest one available.
Yeah, but what I really want to do is take a break here to fucking check to see if the propaganda was true. But my parents said no, just go now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I see. I took 4 years,
yeah, but
and it really helped. When I went back the second time around, I was a lot more prepared for it.
yeah, I should did the break here to see who was bullshitting or not. But it was just if
Wow, the freak. That's
people
we
can be
didn't even
surrounded by
start that
bullshit.
shit till senior year. Like
Yeah,
you knew senior year that was the year you would have to start looking at colleges. But until senior year, nobody even worried about that stuff. And now they're doing it in seventh grade.
yeah.
I know it's supposedly real competitive at the upper class level with the private schools and the test scores and the admissions criteria and everybody trying to get them their kids in the right schools with the right people.
Well, it's competitive if you're white or Asian.
Yeah, or Jewish, I think.
But other people have was some people are in a class where they just get fast track into those places no matter how bad their grades are. I don't know who those people are, but I do know you can tell when they come out. like
The
the
people
Bushes.
that were just let in, not on
Yes,
merit.
yes. So pretty much there's actually a lot of just former academic YouTubers like JF Gayepi or Sabina Hassenfelter that say just
Why does that
just
name
out.
sound familiar? Is she a philosopher?
No, she's a physicist.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I know her for some
Yes,
reason.
she used to be an academic, but she quit to be a YouTuber
Hmm.
because she could do.
She's like a science communicator. Chris
Yes.
told me about her. That's how I know her. Chris mentioned it when we were talking about science communicators.
Hmm.
Well, good
Or
for
Stephen Wolfman because they could do more. They could do actual more science stuff, but they're not pigeonholed into one little thing.
her. Hmm. I think the internet's allowing that in a lot of fields, kind of that decentralization and that getting outside from under that dominant structure. It's liberation from epistemological oppression. Rise up.
But yeah, I like the changes you've been making to your show.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you like about them?
So much like my show, you're about actually getting issues resolved. So
Or
actually
at
like
least clarified so that
Mhm.
people have a better idea of what the issues are. Speaking of issues, hey, bro.
Hello.
Hello. What's up?
I'm on my phone, man. I can barely hear you. It kind of sucks.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to do. We can hear you
Turn your
just fine.
volume up.
Um, yeah.
Put your Bluetooth in.
Oh,
Can you hear Hank?
I mean, barely. Let me go to
Oh,
options. Hold on.
okay.
Settings, audio, mic volume.
Or see what your default speaker is.
Hello.
Hello,
All right.
hello.
Hello.
Do you copy us?
I
Hello.
was just hello. Can you hear us?
That's slightly better for some reason.
Okay, I was just praising technology and how it allows us to decentralize it. That we get this. What's up?
It's amazing. You know, watching the Jetsons as a child, I never thought for a minute that we would have TVs where you could talk to each other. And I asked my mom, will that ever happen? She's like, in the future it will. And now look, the future is now.
In our
Yep.
life, we're gonna have flying cars and everything. Robots that cook our food. They just touched a button on this little box and it gave them this whole home cooked meal. It just spit it out.
I mean, we kind of have that. We have microwave frozen food, similar.
We can
Yeah.
start 3D printing our bugs. Do y'all know? Hey, did y'all hear about the cockroaches in peanut butter? Y'all are
No.
already eating the bugs.
Well, yeah,
The,
I ate
the
crickets before.
FDA allows for up to 30 cockroach legs per, I think, 100 something grams or milligrams of peanut butter, and you can have one rat hair versus so many quantities of peanut butter by law. And
Yeah,
the
I knew
FDA,
that.
because they said there's no way to prevent bugs and rat stuff from falling into, and it's not just peanut butter, it's almond butter, nut butter, all the kinds of butter out there. The bugs are in there and the rat hairs,
Well,
and the
there's no
elite
way
are
to.
doing nothing
Well,
about it.
well, there's also a way to prevent it. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a limit.
The what?
There's obviously ways to prevent it, but there's no way to keep them completely out.
Right. It's not foolproof. It's not 100%.
Yeah.
So we have in here in America and probably the rest of the world, especially if we set the standard, there is a certain window of tolerance for roach. Hey, the article said nut butter. Um, there's a certain amount of roach legs and rat hairs that is tolerated in our nut butters here. So Just pass it on.
So, I mean, it is Gay History Month. So, should we stop eating nut butter? Lol.
Negative.
I'm not one to tell grown adults what to eat and not eat.
I know Jen's not going to. Gen X Jeff is definitely not going to stop eating nut butter.
I stopped a long time ago.
That's a gay joke.
Oh,
it's not funny.
I kind of got the
your
straight
jokes
people around
suck.
here are gaying it up way more than I am for Pride. I don't even remember that it's Pride. Although next week is our local Pride, I might go stream it. Hey, midlife, what are the rules for streaming in public? Like when you're walking around like at a festival or a protest, streaming random people, is all that legal?
In public.
Public, you can show people. If you watch music, it may get you blocked for copyright.
Yeah, but they don't know they're on YouTube. They don't know they're being broadcast.
Well, they know they're under surveillance 24/7 in public. So
it's 100% legal to film anybody in public.
So if I'm walking around with my phone doing this at the festival, nobody's going to say anything.
Well, they might. I mean, don't be a dick if they say, "Hey, asshole, stop." Maybe you should stop.
I'm gonna have my antlers on and my they're not gonna mess with me.
It'll tell you stop. Definitely record. So
yeah, I would.
If I get a second phone out,
walkabout thing.
Yeah. So to tell you stop, just get another phone and doubly record them.
So I'm interested on what's going on in the midlife world because you've been doing some streams on different people and news stories.
Jeff, I have to confess to you, I am a sub whore, and I crave more subs, and I feel like a bitch because my whole life and mood is wrapped up around whether I'm gaining subs or losing subs, and I'm down 4 subs from my max, and it's a painful, non-homeostatic type of way to be. And I want to be the world's most richest YouTuber, and if I can't do that if I'm losing subs, and it hurts my soul when I do a stream for an hour or 2 hours, and maybe I do a little research ahead of time, and then when the stream is over, I'll lose a couple subs, and it really makes me question like my whole reality, my self-worth, what am I doing with myself, and it's kind of depressing and it's pathetic. The fact that it's depressing makes it pathetic, which makes me more depressed.
That's what I was going to say, because you don't even have to start that train of thought even going. You are that's all the stuff you're telling yourself about just a number you're seeing on YouTube. And you don't even know why that number's dropping. And even if it's dropping for the reason you're saying, that's going to happen. That happens to me all the time too. I just looked at mine. I dropped the number today. We're not going up. We're going down. And,
look, no, I have my eye on your subs for a long time. And I'll tell you what you've been at. And I haven't looked today. But you were fighting the 270 barrier for so long. You were like up and then down and then up and then down. And last time I checked, you're almost at 300. Where are you at now?
291, but I was at 292 today, and I was at 293 yesterday.
Yeah, it's so
but what I notice is it fluctuates. That's just it's like riding a plane. There's a certain amount of turbulence you're going to have some tolerance for, and if you internalize it and start making all these stories about it, then you are going to spiral.
I mean, you're right, but I feel like a boxer who gets knocked out, and then I question my content. I think I'm going to be more serious. I'm going to try to be more serious unless
I don't think you should.
Well,
I mean, I haven't seen you serious, so I try it and let me get a look at it. But I think you just being you is your strength.
Well, I'm going to be me, but I'm going to I'm not going to make whole shows out of transsexual beauty contestants, chicks with dicks winning contests. It's it's not working out for me.
Be more serious.
Yeah, maybe
you'll still have your style.
Yeah, I'm still, I mean, Hank doesn't think I'm funny. I think I'm funny. I'm gonna still.
You're one of my favorite new channels. I'm not kidding. I've been telling everybody about your channel.
I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Maybe if you took your own
conviction
advice and
happen?
took your shirt off on your channel, you'd be getting somewhere.
Listen, if you want to see me with my shirt off, go to my Rumble and go to like New Year's resolutions. I have a whole workout video in my underwear, $35 underwear. Go ahead, stream it. It's on
Can we
Rumble.
stream it now? Can we stream it?
Absolutely. Definitely. Stream it.
Hang on. We got content, y'all. All right. What's your Rumble?
What the fuck do you think it is, Jeff?
All
Fucking
right, hang
Christ.
Who knows? That's my yes.
And I didn't, it's not on YouTube.
What's it called?
It's under videos, not lives, first off. I don't know. It's like fitness something or New Year's or what's it called?
Lots of Fannie Willis. So it'd be back in January. Workout goals.
Yeah, that's
Do you
it.
have a little smiley face head over you?
Yeah, when I started off, I thought I was going to be more fuckery and I was going to have like underwear reviews. That's a $35 pair of underwear. The whole thing is, here's my whole thing. Listen, as a dude, it's really gay. Like when it's so gay that like when quote unquote dudes want to be quote unquote sexy and bang out some cooch, they're like, how should I be sexy? I know. Let me put some underwear on with another fucking man's name on it. Like what's the guy's name they always put? Calvin Klein, who's probably a homosexual at that. And it's really just fucking gay to walk around with another man's name around your dick. So this whole bit was like, I need to find good underwear that don't have a gay man's name around it. So anyway, I mean,
one like Inspector 12 used to have the Fruit of the Loom. Like it's they Inspector.
Yeah, but why are you afraid of being called gay? I don't understand.
Why does it?
I had the
you
moniker
have a
Black
conflict
Gay
about
Witch
that?
when I was in slavery still. Why are you afraid of being called
people
gay?
people fucking call me gay all the time because Brokeback Mountain is a fucking great movie. I'm down with the gays, right? Before it was cool. But it's like when I'm ready to give a woman the best night of her life, I don't want to have another man's name around my dick. It's just gay.
Well, then don't buy underwear with another man's
I
name on
don't.
it.
That's the whole bit. So it's Patagonia underwear. They're $35 fucking.
Oh, so okay. Well, let's take a look at it.
But now I'm serious. I'm done
You got
fucking around.
Reeboks. Have a corporation's name on your.
Who are they?
It's
Is
edited.
this-
Just watch
hang
it.
on. Am I going to get a copyright strike from any of this?
Oh yeah,
Is
you
this
are
music
muted.
yours?
Muted.
All right.
Like go on and back and forth with it, or talk over it.
Look at that. Is that? I saw you. For
Yeah,
a
it's an
flash.
edit.
Look at that.
It's an
Wow,
edit.
That's $35 underwear
Yeah.
just to not have a name on it. There's got to be cheaper. Does the dollar store
Reeboks are
have
cheaper.
nameless underwear?
Listen, well, I want a good pair of underwear, dude. I was doing underwear
Reeboks
reviews.
are fine.
Meatballs,
Reebok.
Reebok
Attention.
underwear. Well, listen, it was going to be a bit, but I changed my mind. There you go,
Well,
Hank.
I have
Do
a
you
better
have
idea. If
trouble
you just
getting
did the
laid?
exercise video without distractions, you actually
What?
get more views.
What?
You should not have trouble getting laid. You or Hank both. I don't believe either one of you when you complain and bitch about not being able to get women.
Yeah, stop bitching, midlife.
I mean,
Yeah, you've been a little whiny bitch.
it's too bad you can't hear it. It's like such great.
I'll put the link though, and people can watch it off stream and get the full effect. This is just a teaser. So what is it? You seem like you just have insecurity in general. Like you have negative self-talk.
Yeah, I need to stop that. It's fucking lame.
Well,
Don't stop.
but it's not something you can just stop. But it's
Double
like
down
at least
on it.
being aware of it.
Instead of trying to stop it, just make it pretty much make it worse to the point where you just stop paying attention to it.
But it's also normal. Like I mean, it's very natural and understandable. It's just not letting it get in your way of what you're trying to do.
Well, make up your mind. Should I fucking stop it or keep going with it? I mean, come on. Maybe I have an unhealthy amount.
Double down.
You talking about your stream?
The
You should
self-talk.
definitely keep going. We need more people.
I should double my negative talk, Hank.
Yes.
Fuck
It's not
you.
quadruple.
Hey, let me hang on. Let me tell you about Hank. He is a Discordian and a black gay Satanist. Don't listen to him. He's trying to
And a shadow worker like Jeff is. Jeff
listen to
knows.
me. Listen to the demon on this soldier, not the demon on that shoulder.
Yeah, do what Jeff says.
Listen to the one that can't talk. Wait, you just changed. Wait, what happened? That editing was smooth. Look at
I'm
that.
doing edits. It goes. It matches the music. It matches the music.
I'm gonna. Man, is this an entire workout video? Could someone learn to exercise from this?
I mean, you could learn a few things. It's not really like fucking secrets.
What kind of underwear to buy and not buy?
Listen,
I did like those lounge pants.
The final review on the underwear is they're not great for working out, but they're great for everyday use. I'll leave it at that.
And they don't leave you with a bitch complex from having another man.
Yeah, I mean, Patagonia is pretty dope. That's some of the shit I was eating there.
I like their store. Ooh, that looks good. Ugh. See, you do good graphics. Is this all stuff you took?
Yeah, I cooked all that.
Look at that. But I thought you had a girlfriend too.
I do have a girlfriend.
Oh, well then what are you worried about what's on your underwear and getting laid?
Isn't it kind of odd that men wear underwear with another man's name on it? You don't think that's gay, kind of daddy? That's like daddy dom kind of shit?
I never thought about it really before. I don't really pay attention to what's on my
underwear. Listen. You never seen Back to the Future? That's the first time they ever thought about it. Remember Back to the Future?
Yeah, I've watched the show.
So
to see, I watched it when it came out. But
I'll refresh.
Just put your own name on your underwear.
Let me refresh your memory. What's the short guy who's got MS or whatever? He's Parkinson's.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox goes back in time, and somehow his mom finds him when they're both like 16. And then his mom sees that his underwear say Calvin Klein. And his mom wants to bang him because it doesn't know he's his son. Like, this really happens in the movie. And she calls him Calvin. And he's like, why are you calling me Calvin? Because that's what your underwear say. And ever since then, I was like, you know what? It is gay to have another man's name on your goddamn underwear. It's so gay. It's so daddy dom, dude.
I am really interested if there are other guys that have had that experience, because they've never voiced it to me, and I've never heard anybody. But there are little things that guys react to. Like I opened the door for everybody, and then when someone told me one day not to open the door for other men because they see it as like a dominant, submissive thing, and they don't want another man holding a door open for them. And when someone told me that, I started paying attention more, and I did notice.
No, they don't want to know. No, you're wrong.
Go through
Let me help you. Straight men don't want a gay man holding a door open for them because then they're scared that other people will think that you guys are having gay butt sex.
So if another businessman or something opened it for them, they would just go through.
Midlife, with this tattoo, you'll be very easy to manipulate.
What's going on?
You're extremely easy to manipulate if you're afraid it's crap like this.
I am not afraid of it, but I understand the insecure straight man's complex. Bro, I used to have gay friends. I would go camping with a gay friend. He taught me how to fucking scuba dive. We went on a scuba trip for a week on a sailboat together, me and my gay BFF. He's a master diver. He taught me how to dive. And I am totally secure with it. Also, my dad is dead, so I would never want my dad to think I'm gay. So, I can just do whatever I want at this point. I mean, obviously I'm not gay.
How much of, I don't think you are. How much of it do you think is cultural? Like just the generation we grew up in, that was something that men had to worry about from each other, but it's less so now. I think men care about that less now.
I think they do too, but what can I, I'm like,
just feel like a carryover from our generation. But that doesn't make it any less. It's still real for you.
I mean, some people don't like, there's plenty of people that whatever. But I don't want any man's name. I might as well have a tattoo, that says property of with an arrow pointing at my dick. I don't want another man's name even on my body, on my t-shirt. It says Tommy Hilfiger. Like, no, dude, I don't want any brands unless I fully
I'm like
endorse
that
it.
with brands too. I hate branded clothing. I
Yeah.
hate clothing with words and logos on it.
I can't. It's like, yeah, it's like, hey, can one of you stupid companies like just make a quality product that looks nice and not put your stupid name on it, so I don't have to be a goddamn walking billboard? Like Calvin Klein, do you want me to be your next underwear model? Pay me, I'll probably wear these underwear, no problem. But until that point, no thanks.
But did you
we live in
apply
a
for the
consumerist
position?
society. It's been that way since like my whole life, at least.
Did I apply? Should I apply, Hank? Where?
Yes.
CalvinKlein.com looking for underwear models?
Yeah, well, you get
Just
an
go
talent
TikTok.
agent.
Go viral on TikTok, and then Calvin Klein will come to you.
I have a TikTok account. I put up a few videos and then I gave up.
My friend got a TikTok account, and she like her traffic like 10 times. She got 10 times more traffic after like a few days on TikTok from just making 1-minute videos
On YouTube?
to her
TikTok.
website. She had this website, and she had she promoted on Twitter and a website, but she said the traffic to her website to like sign up for her program. She was a life coach type of person. She experimented with little 1-minute videos, like on a short little topic, and she put them on TikTok. And she said, like within days, there were 10 times as many people signing up at her website than before she'd started TikTok. Like her business just took off because TikTok feeds your videos to the people that are looking for that content. So it goes out to all the people on TikTok that are already wanting to see that.
Dude, I did a few TikToks, and then I did like a bunch of gay TikToks and tagged all the gays and trans.
What
and then like
all the straight people with these gay complexes? I have done almost nothing for gay pride this year. Like all the straight people around me are talking about all this gay and trans stuff way more than me.
Well, trans is fascinating, and gay is it's literally shoved down our throats. Lol, no pun intended. I don't know, it's compelling, it's interesting.
Is it?
It's not interesting, it's boring.
I do think like straight men and gay men have a lot to learn from each other, and we were kept apart through prejudice and homophobia for a while. And now that that's lessened, I think it's an opportunity to come together as men and like learn from each other, because there's definitely things I could learn from straight men.
You sound like you're trying to live out your making straight men jump over the fence and have gay butt sex with you fantasy, Jeff.
No, I don't.
It sounds like you
I'm not attracted to straight men, and I don't have a dominant fantasy anyway. That might be you projected your complex that you alluded to earlier.
Midlife, it's like you bumped into a guy and now you're considering harming yourself because you're afraid that you're gay now.
Wait, say that again. What?
It's like you bumped into another guy and you're wondering if you should harm yourself because you got caught a gay.
It's not me, dude. It's hard for you to understand, like, bro. Like,
it's the programming that you absorbed growing up.
Yeah, listen.
You can't tell me that there's not like straight gay dudes that want to like turn out straight dudes. I mean, it's
there are. In fact,
it's a thing.
In my generation, at least, I would say it was most gay dudes, and they would brag about it. And you were called trade.
It's a thing.
And if you got some trade, which means you got a straight man to sleep with you, then you'd go to the bar and like, ooh, girl, I got some trade last night, and it was
trade. Wait. Wait. I never heard this term. This is a new term for me. Whoop whoop. New term alert.
Trade. Yeah.
Define this for me, please, so I understand.
It's a gay guy that gets a straight person to sleep with him. The straight person is called trade, and then you get status from bragging about the trade you slept with your friends, because it was always more impressive to sleep with a straight guy that was like a real guy and actually masculine than another gay guy, and so it was like an extra step of gay status. But I never got into it. I was very turned off by all the gay people that were doing this, but it was the majority of them. It was like the norm to want to try to get straight guys and then be able to brag that you slept with them. And I was always turned off by that. There was like always a boundary for me between straight people and gay people.
But I mean, are they really? But you know, once they have a penis in them, they're not straight. So maybe they're just.
Well, I think a lot
in
of
the
times
closet.
they were the ones putting the penis in.
The straight one,
Yeah,
or the straight acting.
yeah, they were going for the bussy. Can I say that on you?
It's your show.
Oh, I mean, it's not my terms of
Well,
service.
well, yeah. I mean, yes, you would do what I'm very worried about. I mean, what's wrong with
I
getting
mean,
a
I don't know. I
blowjob?
wasn't there for any of that. I don't know what they did with the straight guy, but normally it was like giving the straight guy oral sex, or if it did go further, it was usually the straight guy on top.
Midlife, why don't you want me to get free blowjobs? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Wait, what?
Well, you get blowjobs from gay guys.
Who?
Sometimes.
Hank?
Okay. Well, we are in 2024. So that's actually not so odd, or shouldn't be.
Well, he doesn't get blowjobs from straight guys, Jeff. I mean,
Well, no. Why would what straight guy would be giving a blowjob?
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like,
well, I
you
mean,
have to
guys.
say- you can just say,
well, they could be trans, not they.
oh, are you down with the trans, Hank?
I'm not.
Okay, let me put it
What do you
this
mean
way.
down with? I'm not attracted. I would not date.
Yeah.
Jeff, I know you're not attracted to it, but I'm asking
Yeah,
Hank.
let me put it this way. They can keep doing it. They can have whatever pronouns they want.
Yeah, that's not my question. You know what my question is.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. You
Jeff,
need to understand.
Jeff.
I won't answer your question.
Jeff, pull up Miss Maryland and show her to Hank and do a smasher pass right now.
All right. Oh yeah, I
Miss-
saw your stream on.
Yeah,
it.
let's do that.
Yeah, that stream was complete shit, and I lost a bunch of subs from that too. So I think I'm going to stop
Why?
talking about
What happened?
trannies.
But you learn every time.
I
you do
lost a
stuff,
bunch of
right?
subs, and then I had a bunch of shit panelists come up and just take over, and I'm a coward, and I should have been like, I should have just kicked them right off the goddamn panel. They just ruined the fucking show. And honestly, at this point, it's like, what more can you say about transsexuals winning sports and winning beauty competitions? It really doesn't have that much legs to it anymore. There's not much to say.
We looked at the numbers the other day, the percentage of people that are currently trans, and it's so small. It's like point something % of the population. The number of people this applies to is not even worth the amount of time they take up in the discourse.
No, but trans is, well, I'm done with it on my show, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Just go to her Instagram.
Oh, okay. Let me.
It's the
You have a
the new
picture of
frontier.
her for some reason. Is it Bailey Ann Kennedy? Let's see. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
it. That's it. Show Hank. She married a Marine. Can you believe this? I'm in Maryland, FYI. So out of all the whores in Maryland, this is the best they got,
Right.
apparently.
She's a whore.
I mean, how else did you describe her?
Well, all I see is a picture of a lady. I have no idea. How do you know from this picture that she's a whore? You mean figuratively?
He's a mind reader. He just gets it from the ether.
Like, okay, out of all these girls, which ones are the whores and which ones are the...
Go to Google and click images so we can see multiple pics. Or go to her Instagram, please.
So, what's her name?
Big validation chaser.
Jeff, all women are whores except for my mom and sister. Sorry to say that. Okay.
Okay, that kind of whore. All right, that's what I thought you meant.
Okay.
You don't know that in reality. That's like a myth.
And my cousins and my, aunties. All the other women are whores. The best whore. One puta.
What's your definition of a whore?
My definition of a whore is anyone who has a vagina who is not my mom, my sister, my aunties, or my cousins.
You just insulted
What useless definition?
women out there.
And you don't even have to have a vagina. And all trans women are whores, 100%.
What a useless definition.
Thank you, sir.
It's not a useless definition. It's my working
I think it's
definition.
useless. I won't use it. I reject the definition in place of my own.
Hank, I appreciate your honesty. I can count on you for that at all times. It's awesome. And as far as Jeff goes, I don't appreciate your slowness in bringing up Miss Maryland. How hard could it be, Jeff?
Oh, I tried. I don't have an Instagram account. It wants me to sign in. Do you have
Yeah,
it? I
just
can share
type in her name and type images, and then present the picture to Hank, and then say smash or pass.
I'll do it myself. I'll do it
Thank
myself. I'll find it myself.
This is good content, though. Put it on the damn screen,
Okay.
Jeff.
If you knew good content, you wouldn't be whining, crying about you losing subs.
Well, you're right, but the truth hurts. But
Yeah,
you know,
there's some victim mentality in there.
am I playing the
That
victim?
might be part of it. Yeah,
Yes.
a little bit. That might
Is it
be
crossing
tied
over in
into
my
this
shitty content?
complex you have about being gay and being seen as weak.
I don't have a complex of being gay. What? I don't want a gay man's name on my fucking body. It's not a complex.
Or
It's
any
like
man's name. That's
I
what
don't-
I
yeah,
said.
because-
You're the one that came in and presented it as a gay issue, and
It is
when
gay.
you described it. I said that is nothing to do with being gay.
Yeah.
That's just a masculinity thing. You don't.
Are you
want
are you
Jeff,
ready for my? You ready
I
for
don't
my
want
You're the
answer?
one that
Listen.
introduced it as a gay
Yeah.
thing.
I don't want some man's fucking name on my body. That's some real daddy dom shit. It's
No,
basically
that's-
like I own you and my name is on your body. It's really just fucking weird, and I don't like it.
Then don't
You know,
have a man's name on your body. It's
I
easy.
don't, man. That's why I got Patagonia. It's Patagonia. It's like
So,
fucking mountains.
Frank,
Or some shit.
Hank, would you smash or pass? I already know what Frank.
Pass.
Pull up the picture, man.
all of them.
I
Yeah,
had the
okay.
pictures up there. Pay attention. I'm
Can you make it
showing
bigger?
the screen
Whoa.
myself.
Oh,
Can
he
you
wants
make
you
it
to go
bigger?
through
That's what
each
she
one and
said.
magnify it.
Okay, whatever.
Stop using the same
He was
tired
trying
ass
to show
picture.
us like the horror pictures. Like he said, if
Yeah,
we
like
saw more
pick the
pictures,
one in the
we'd see
dress,
them.
pick the one in the
But then
bikini.
I heard his definition of a whore, and it all makes sense.
Okay.
I swear to God,
Still.
if you keep bringing up the same picture, you got one. It's been 5 minutes. You
Oh,
only
what
showed
are you
one
gonna
picture.
do? What are you gonna do if I bring up the same picture again?
I'm gonna cry, maybe.
Yeah, Hank. I do want to see some variety, though. Let's see a few more.
Thank you, Jeff. Jesus.
Just go to the Google image, and you can click through each one through the little carousel. I think.
I don't know why other men like it, but it's so cliche. It's so cliche. It's like, it's like, oh look, and then they bombard you with these pictures. If you want to be sexy and fuck hot chicks, you have to buy Calvin Klein underwear and look sexy. And it's like,
No, that's something you put. I never once thought that. You got that in your head somehow. Calvin Klein didn't put it there.
bro,
Because there's
I'm telling you.
other guys that buy Calvin Klein underwear that don't ever have that thought. It never once crosses their mind.
Well, that's because they don't even know that they're being fucking pimped out by Calvin Klein, like a like a bottom. They're being pimped out like a fucking power bottom by Calvin Klein, and they don't even fucking know it.
Are you jealous because it's not Barnabas Bro Logic underwear instead?
Well, of course, man. I wish I had underwear. Motherfuckers be wearing my name, Barnabas.
So
You know.
Then just make some underwear.
This sounds like a beta thing. Like you got on the beta end of some kind of dominance transaction.
Yeah, white label some under. I mean, yeah.
Dude, if I
Right,
have
fuck some
underwear and dudes are wearing underwear specifically to go fuck chicks, bro, I can't. That's pretty fucking
That
dope.
seems like something a beta would be concerned with, but not anybody else. Like
Yeah, what you do is you
not be threatened by a guy's name on his underwear.
yeah.
But
What
I'm not
you do is
trying to invalidate your experience. Like I get it. I just don't think it's the norm. But maybe
It's
it
not
is.
the norm,
I only
but,
have
you know-
to go by. You're free.
private label some
Help me.
underwear with your name on it.
I need
What?
another guy's perspective.
But yeah, what you do is buy some underwear and private label your name on your underwear, so you have underwear with your own name on it.
I mean, bro,
Problem solved.
that's a great idea.
Go ahead,
Honestly,
do it.
You can do it like in this day and age.
You don't even need to pay me. Go ahead and do it.
maybe I should just make my own fucking underwear line. I mean, Barnabas underwear.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
how could I do that?
Don't pay me. Just go run with the idea. You don't need to pay me. It's just go ahead and do it.
And it could be
Thanks,
channel
Hank.
merch, and then you could tie it into your channel as merch. There are a lot of panelists that support their channels just by the t-shirt stuff.
All right, let's
like
come
their
up with the
branding.
business plan. Let's come up with the business plan.
Do
So
you
I don't know
wanna
anything
meet-
about
We,
shit.
we don't need. You don't need a business plan. Just
AI
go
can help
get
you
some
with that.
underwear and
AI.
sell it.
No, I
Get
want
some
my
underwear,
own
put your name
underwear,
on and sell it. No business plan needed.
dude. I
Go.
want. I mean, you keep saying
You have a
no.
design in mind?
No, I said go. We don't need a business plan. Just go get private label some underwear with your name on it.
I think I need to find like a sweatshop.
Mm-hmm. And you could probably find one
Don't
here in the
buy a
U.S. because we
sweatshop.
need to start bringing them back to the U.S. Manufacturing needs to come back.
Oh,
Don't-
I know an immigration lawyer. I'll get a bunch of illegals over here, or maybe I'll meet them at the fucking border. Be like, yo, I'll give you $1 an hour.
Are you able to design the drawers yourself, or do you have to get a designer drawers expert?
I don't know shit, man. I got to hang out with a bunch of gays to be like,
You
let's
know
make
what?
men's underwear.
Just find a pair you like. Keep reviewing underwear. Then just buy a bunch, put your name on, and sell it. You can do it through the company.
I think that's not going to work, Hank. That's a poor business plan.
Did you try it?
I'll get sued. If I made any money in the end,
yes
I'd
or
get
no?
sued.
Did you try it?
Hank, I wanted to come up with my own, kind of underwear.
Yes or no? Did you try it yet or not?
No, I did not, Hank.
Exactly.
My girlfriend is here, and my girlfriend approves of you busting my balls, Hank. FYI.
Wait, she's like with you on stream right now. Can she say hi?
Hi.
Yeah, I heard her.
Hi, Miss Logic.
Hi.
Oh, wow.
That's
I
hilarious.
see. He's so. Can you help him? He's so insecure about his masculinity, and he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, she's right here. I'm not insecure about my masculinity. I don't want another fucking man's name on my body, especially a gay man's name.
Right, and I understand.
And that's not insecure. That's just what I want. And now you're trying to like gay shame me or something. I don't want another fucking man's name.
I'm
Look,
to help you. I need to stop. Every time I try
We
to
told you how to fix it. Private label some underwear with your own name on it. Do you have any questions about that?
Maybe she's AI girlfriend though. We don't know that was a real woman.
It doesn't make a difference to me.
Oh.
Oh, speaking of beauty contests and speaking of being gay, I've been paying a lot of attention to beauty contests. So Miss Maryland has a penis. Like Miss Argentina is 60 freaking years old, a contestant. Miss Ecuador is 42 and a baby mama. Miss Alabama is morbidly obese. And they just had an AI.
You watch more pageants than a gay person.
So midlife. I have a question. Whose penis is bigger, yours or Miss Maryland?
I hope mine is. Otherwise, I'm going to have a big problem.
No, you have a small palm.
Well, let's ask this.
Lol. Yeah, that's a good one, Hank. That's a good one, Hank. Yeah. So, Hank really throws me off my game here. What was I going to say? There's an AI beauty pageant that just happened, Hank. Speaking of beautiful AI women.
Like fake people.
Yes, with AI women. It just had
it. Is it on YouTube?
I mean, it's on Google. Because
Well, have fun at your beauty pageant.
I was researching beauty pageants.
There sure is. It's the world's first.
Why did Hank leave? Why did Hank leave?
Oh, I didn't know he does that. He panel hops.
That's kind of fucking.
No, it's not. Panel whoring is not working. It's not working for either one of us, and we need to figure out how to start our climb to glory.
Bro, isn't panel whoring enough? Who isn't? Me or
you?
I need to be on more panels.
Flo's streaming now. You should go on Flo's. It's him and Based Oracle, and in fact, it might be Based Oracle's channel and Sasquatch and Denizen.
I just did a show with Sasquatch tonight.
Oh, well, he's on Flo's right now. Or Based Oracle. What did y'all talk about? Did he think you were gay?
No, I'm with Captain Curmudgeon and him. So I talked about the beauty pageants because Miss Maryland won, and I'm in Maryland, so that was kind of news. And then so I was researching beauty pageants, and so Miss Alabama is fat, Miss Argentina contestant is 60, Ecuador is 42 and a baby mama. Also, this transsexual in Maryland. First off, she's 32, and you're supposed to be 28, and you're not supposed to be married, and she's actually married to a Marine. And it's like they just broke all the rules for her and put her in front of the line, like just show up and you'll win. And it's kind of crazy. Like, could you imagine having a vagina and then like some chick with a dick comes up and it's like, oh, I'm gonna beat you at your own freaking game. It's just like this crazy agenda, man. It's like it's nuts. What does it mean about society?
Society's changing.
It's like we need to have a cisgendered woman beauty contest now. It's like, I'm totally fine with a tranny beauty contest, but it's just odd.
Just don't mix them. That's happening on RuPaul and Drag Race too. More and more of the contestants are becoming trans. They even have female drag queens competing now, like biological female drag queens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They call them bio queens. Yeah,
bio queens, bro. I'm like learning so much. Bio queen, and what was the other term? Trade,
yeah.
Bro, I'm like expanding my knowledge. I never heard of bio queen. That's very interesting. I don't even know how.
And that was like from many years ago. That might be like a taboo term now that you're not supposed to say, but that's what they were calling themselves like 10 years ago.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Panel whoring. Sometimes I do that, man, and it's like I don't get any subs, and I'm like, what the fuck is the point?
You don't, because I get, where I get my most growth happens when somebody else streams to their channel and their audience comes over.
I don't get none of that shit.
Like
man.
Sometimes, like Flo would come in a few times and stream to his channel, and all his audience would come and they would start subbing and stuff. So if you get a bigger channel to come on yours and stream to theirs, it will bring some of their audience over to your subs.
I mean, I try.
The other thing that people recommend is clips that you could circulate all over social media, which I'm too lazy to do.
Yeah, I got to do clips. I think I'm kind of down and out because my second to last video sucked. I just pulled it down. It pissed me off so much. And then I'm thinking of just making like videos now. I don't know. I got to get my subs up.
You're good at the panel stuff. If you want to like meet later this week and like kick ideas around, we could do something like that.
I want to cover Stonewall
and figure out how to get our channels going.
I want to cover Stonewall, just like a serious topic. You're gay, so I want a gay person. So
I went there, and now it's the trans that saved everybody. The gays had very little role in it. They're completely rewriting their history.
Well, what is the truth? I've heard both. I've heard multiple things. What
they
do you
had
think?
a documentary on it that I watched that seemed pretty straightforward, and like they used footage and they showed you what happened to the extent that they knew. It seemed pretty unbiased.
So the first gays that I knew were in Miami, but I didn't really like talk to them. But the first gays I like talked to were like the old gays, and they survived the AIDS and all that shit, and they were New Yorkers.
Those were the old gays?
Yeah, like the old queens. They're like waiters and stuff, and I would work with them, and then I'd have my gay roommate. And they didn't like trans. They didn't like that shit.
There wasn't a lot.
They would never intermingle. They would never intermingle because a gay dude doesn't want a fucking trans. A gay dude wants a dude.
Me and Lib talked about this actually, and he agreed. Like he acknowledged this, but to me, they're severely restricting their dating pool because they're taking themselves out of the straight dating pool and the gay dating pool at the same time, and so they're leaving a very little narrow niche. But there definitely is a niche for that because there are people that are into. They call them traps.
Traps.
Oh, you don't know about the traps? Hang on, I got a video for you.
What is that?
It's I guess gay trans people that try to be as feminine as they can, like pass completely for feminine, and straight guys sleep with them.
I thought those are twinks.
No, twinks are male, like gay, those are the little gay male.
Yeah.
Like with.
Yeah, like you young.
The traps are the trans version of that. They're gay that are trying to be as feminine as possible so that straight men will sleep with them as though they were women. Oh,
well, they try to pretend like they don't have a dick. You mean like a trap?
Yeah, they're yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I understand that.
Here, I'll put the video.
I can't believe you never seen Paris is Burning.
I did. I saw the old. Oh no, yeah, I have seen Paris is Burning.
I mean, they called that dude a fish. Remember that term?
Yeah, they used to, oh my god, everything was girl and fish and Miss Thing. Like everything was feminized. Like tables, chairs, drinks, non-physical objects were all feminine. Everybody was girl, everybody was Miss Thing, everything was fish. Women were all
No,
fish. Like
no,
a
they
girl
said
at a gay bar was a fish automatically.
no.
Oh, look, the fish is here. But then if gay men were too feminine, they were being fishy that night themselves. So it was just a word for femininity in general.
But the star of the show who got murdered in the end, they called him or her a fish, and that chick or dude or whatever the fuck you want to call him wasn't even on hormones. Totally passes the chick. It's so bizarre. And in the end, and she was a prostitute and she got killed. And it's I mean, what a documentary. What a freaking documentary. It's insane. And then you also got to understand, like, Vogue and all that bullshit. Like, I just thought Madonna invented it. Remember that Vogue?
She did. Well, she got it from the
What are you talking
ballroom.
about? She took it from this Paris is Burning homosexuals.
But she popularized it. Like it was just a niche subculture until.
But you don't understand. Like, I had no idea. I thought it was just something Madonna did, but apparently no. It's like some gay underground culture thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Madonna
that.
was part of the New York underground for a long time. Like the same music I grew up listening to, that punk and new wave and stuff. She was part of that scene until she went pop. So she was in touch with all of those influences.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, it's a great documentary. But look, yeah, let's do a dude. I liked the gay struggle back in the day. I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by
Still struggling, girl.
the gay people that are like rejected by their fucking family, and they just have to like run. It's like a real like rags to maybe riches story where they have to run and they go to San Francisco, New York, or Miami, and then they like find this community, and it's like the No Rain video from Blind Melon, and they all
with the little bee girl.
Yeah, and they find like this community, and it's it's just neat, man. It's quite a struggle that they have. Especially
Hey, have
then.
you seen the Coquettes video, the documentary?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It used to be free on YouTube. I'm gonna try to find it for you. It's this group, this like trans drag art group in San Francisco, like in the late 60s and early 70s. And if you're interested in this topic, it tells the story of kind of the birth of drag and transgenderism and all the stuff we're seeing today in the gay movement. And it's a really good documentary.
Email it to me.
I will. I'm trying to find it. I know
Midlife Bro Logic Gmail. I never heard of it. It's the title.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to find it. The Coquettes, and they became super like world famous. Like eventually, and they toured in New York City and everything. And Sylvester, the singer, the black guy.
Yeah, he had that hit. What was the song?
He was one of them. He got his start in the Coquettes.
What is it? How does it feel? Or what's the name of that song?
You Make Me Feel.
You Make Me Feel. Mighty Real. That's right.
In fact, I might watch it in the Discord.
All right, well, I think it's my bedtime. Is it my bedtime, baby?
Oh my God, we got daddy complex and mommy complex.
It's my bedtime.
All right. Well, let's talk again.
Yeah, man, I got you on Discord or what, I mean, what do you think? What do you think is good? How can I get subs? Honestly, the gay shit's not doing well on my show, but fuck it. It is,
It's
I
pride,
just said,
though.
but fuck it. It's Pride
Who's
Month.
your audience? Do you know your audience? That's part of it, is trying to figure out who your audience is.
Here's the problem, man. I'll go on other shows and other panels, and I'm a whore, and I'll just beg people to sub, and they might sub, and they're not like true fans.
Do you have $20? You
what
could
do you think?
try Flo's little promote your channel for a week offer. Of course, it would be Flo's audience. But if you're a whore, it doesn't matter where you get
Oh,
your
what
shit from.
Flo will promote me for $20 a week?
He'll
Oh, I
promote
might
you for
do
a
it.
whole week. He'll put you on a banner. He'll verbally promote your channel for a week. He used to offer that. I don't know if he still does.
I might do the whole my
And Brandon Looney Tunes is working that Panelverse too, and he has the Looney Tunes crowd. So if you don't care where your audience comes from, you just want numbers. Hit up panels like that.
Do you know? But he
Hold on.
does care. He does care where his audience is coming from.
That's how I am too. Like I don't. I'm a little more discerning about where my audience comes from.
Yeah, like you want people who want to watch you, not just your like chatting.
Who
stuff.
does he want to reach?
What I
Men?
think, yeah, he wants to reach people who are watching the news. He wants to be really a news guy. I think he's like, yeah,
But like with like a comedy touch.
maybe like a Glenn Greenwald, but like funny, like Jimmy
Sure.
Dore. Jimmy, if you follow, like one of his favorites. So I think he should do two things, right? I think one, he should have a calendar. Like I do create content. Okay. So I and the big content creators that I know all have content calendars. So they have like topics and they make their
consistent.
videos, and then they release like every day they'll release 2 videos. So he should pre-do his videos on his news topics and then release them. That's one thing. And have like a regular schedule and just try it for like 2 months. Like kind of what Sasquatch does, which is like Monday is this, Tuesday is like the news roundup, Wednesday is like open panel, film guys on film is like Thursday, you know what I mean? And have like
That
a real
is what helped me stabilize it. Like do it like a TV station and have specific programming at specific times.
That's what I think. And then you don't get burnt out. Because creators who don't have content calendars, who have to always keep thinking of ideas, they get burnt out, and then it's not consistent, and then it's just a hot.
Are you able to do that? Like, is your brain gonna work that way and work within a structure, or do you have to kind of have some chaos?
Yeah, that's actually a good question there, Jeff. Can you work like that, or do you function from the chaos?
I think better is when I find something that motivates me. I'm looking for
go with that. Like when you find something that's hot, that energy is hot, follow that trail.
Yeah, but then
but that goes against the schedule.
Well, yeah, because then what if
I'm wondering if it's possible to create a little production team within the Panelverse, kind of volunteer basis, because there's people with those skills that could support the creative people and help the content creators start to produce their content, like polish their content a little more and structure it. But I don't know if the creative people are the ones that are going to have the same skill set to do that and create at the same time. So if there was a little production team that we could all kind of use that could help with calendar and graphics and thumbnails and clips and all that kind of stuff, promotion.
Yeah, Barney does have followers that send him articles like all day.
Every day, all day. CCD.
Yeah, there's he's getting tons, like literally a research department is like there. It's already there.
So
wow. Well,
content. Well, I can only do a show on things that I feel interested in. Otherwise, I would never do a show on something I'm not interested in unless someone specifically paid me money to fucking do it, which of course no one has. And but I see these other people with these big numbers and I covet it and I want it. And I want to be a YouTuber raking in the big bucks. Or just some of the bucks.
You got to put in the work.
You're right. I mean, the truth.
And that is what you're trying to do. You just have to.
No, you're right. I'm just being a bit, honestly. Like I'm doing pretty good.
The freak says, like, is it numbers or content? Like, but if it's something you're interested in, do you have to catch it in that moment, or can you like, I'm interested in this, put it on a list, and a week later come to it and develop something from it, or do you have to catch it like kind of when that coal is hot before it dies out?
It's got to be hot. It's got to be hot.
So you get an idea, you get excited, and you should run to your computer and start the content then when it's fresh. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I've been trying to stream at nights now because days are kind of shit for me.
But it has to be like when a topic catches you.
Yeah, like today I did the beauty queens, and then I also did nitrogen hypoxia execution. It's pretty
Oh
pretty
yeah, I saw that. That
kind of
was
fucking morbid, but it was interesting. It's not really like a hot topic.
I think you should keep doing that. That's you are finding your wheelhouse, and that's what's going to lead you to it. So keep doing the topics that are interesting to you.
No, I
It
will.
doesn't really matter what the topic is because you yourself are interesting and you bring an interesting perspective on any topic.
Well, Jen, thank you so much for the encouraging words. I guess sometimes I'm a bitch and I need a little attaboy, so I do appreciate that, Mr. Jeff.
That's okay. You have your gay friend here to listen.
I appreciate that. Well, okay, so what should we do? Do you want to do Stonewall, or do you think it's shit? Do you think I'm going to lose more subs?
No, well,
maybe.
So you're wrestling like the content versus what the audience wants, and trying to find that balance.
And Hank, then shout out to Hank too.
I don't think he's sheeple.
He what? Sheeple?
I don't think he's sheeple. I think
it's like why I'm interested in a lot of things. Why not pick the things that I'm interested in that can get me numbers? Like, why not? There's plenty of that shit out there.
Right. So there's the things you're interested in and the things that you're interested in that can get that other people might be interested in as well. So it's finding that sweet spot in the middle where the Venn diagram meets. And you're only going to know that through experiment, like to keep doing it and experiment with what people are responding to. I don't know if there's a way to know that in advance other than to kind of watch for patterns as you do it.
Yeah.
But the sex stuff, especially like the sex stuff, I think is definitely you should keep that. The boobs, the pageants, the gays, the tranny stuff, anything sex related. Like, but then the Miss Logic said that you wanted to do news ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in, I guess my best topics have been Tiffany Henyard and Fannie freaking Willis, honestly. Of course, yeah, it's a fascinating story, quite frankly.
Just keep doing that. Like, there's not gonna be a shortage of fascinating stories each week to hit.
Yeah.
And if you capture that, like those kind of sensational, wild stories that don't really make it onto the top of the media all the time, that could be a niche right there.
But maybe I should get like some gays on my channel too. Like, I think like when I did this last Miss Maryland, I think I lost a bunch of subs because it's like, it's kind of fucking weird. But when you look at this Miss Maryland, like if she didn't have a dick, she'd be like a very hot, skinny Asian chick. And I think
that's what I would take her as without knowing.
When people hear that, they're like, oh, Barnabas is a faggot, and they unsub. That's what I think is happening. But it's like, can't I just say what's the truth? It doesn't mean I'm out here chasing trannies.
You don't know that's what's happened. That's your story.
Well, they unsub from it, dude. They unsub.
All you know is numbers drop. That's all you know. Everything.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, they don't like tranny shit. It's like maybe if I just hated on trannies, but I don't like hate on trannies. I just think they're like sick in the head. But then I look at this chick and I was like, I don't know. Maybe this chick should have been a woman. Oh, Hank is back. What's up?
Yeah, I need you to do me a favor. I think you would work great with Tommy. Go ahead and get together with Tommy.
He's trying to grow his channel, and Hank's up here trying to sabotage you.
No, Tommy's getting his own numbers, and he's like the same kind of content. So
I asked Tommy the other day, how do I get 200 subs? And he said something about, I'll never go to your gay channel. And I said, you're right. You wouldn't be able to get in, even if you wanted to. But he never actually told me how to get the subs.
So Tommy knows to get subs, and Midlife wants subs, so I think you should try it.
I've been to Tommy's channel. I go on there sometimes. And here's the thing. Me and him have the same amount of subs. I might even have more. But he has real fans. Like, I just beg people like a whore to sub. So I could do a stream. I could have anywhere from 2 viewers. If I have 20, I'm doing good. if you look at Tommy's numbers, dude's pulling like 60 freaking viewers at a time. Like people really like that shit. And I don't even understand what it's about. Tommy just has this ability to just talk constantly. I'm kind of blown away.
He hits like
so
the reptile part of the brain or something. He hits that primitive part of the brain, I think, that gets off on just excitement and chaos and whatever he does.
But
it's
he just
not
hates,
intellectual content.
he just hates on other channels, and I'm never going to do that on my channel. I don't want to talk about other channels really, and like who's arguing with who and back in this. And yeah, Tommy is very talented because he just talks for hours. It doesn't even take
a lot of people want to do
that. Well, at least take some notes so we can refer back to these ideas. I want to hear back in 2 weeks and see you saying the same thing, and you didn't try.
Do you want to be his
panel friend or working with a Tommy? I want so. In fact, I'm gonna make a note. So if you do come back with the same thing, I'll have a note that on. Should I say the 9th or 10th? I'm gonna say the 9th. That you were crying about this and didn't do anything about it.
Thank you for holding me accountable, Hank. I appreciate that.
Some accountability.
So I'll see you later.
Are you leaving again? Thanks for pulling up and holding me accountable. I appreciate that, Hank.
I'm not sure what just happened, but I think
somebody's. I think he's holding me accountable. He had a good idea. Thanks for coming up. He wants me to stop being a bitch and do something about it, and that's awesome. Thank you, Hank.
Well, we all want to see you succeed because we want to see this whole community and Panelverse succeed, and so I don't know. I think keep doing what you're doing because you don't know who your audience is yet, and you're not going to know that until you do it enough to see who shows up for your content. So I think prioritizing the content that resonates with you is the best starting point for that, and not to get worried about these little fluctuations in numbers because they happen to everybody. That's just the normal part of being on YouTube.
No, you're right. I mean, I can't disagree. But bro, you do a show next week. Okay, are we going to do Stonewall or not?
Yeah.
Or should we do something else?
Well, let's hit me up on Discord or something or email. We'll talk about it.
Well,
I'll try to find that video for you.
Can't tell your million.
I don't think they have the free version anymore. I think you might have to, whatever movie service you use.
What are you talking about?
That Coquette video that I was going to send you. The drag troupe.
What do you want to do a show on? What do you want to do a show on? That's what I want to talk about.
What is Stonewall exciting you?
I mean, it's the beginning of the game.
I want to do something you're exciting about, not something you're worried about the audience. The audience is going to come and go no matter what.
Yeah, the audience is not going to like it. I know that. But, dude, I think it's interesting. It's the start of gay rights. And a lot of people out here don't know that.
It's Pride. And next week is my local Pride, which I plan to stream anyway. So, it could be a lead up to that. We could do a show on Stonewall. And one issue we could look at that's not often talked about, but from the beginning of Stonewall to now, the gay community was not unified around a lot of issues. And how much nudity to show at Pride, how much kink, how much drag, etc. That's been debated within the community from the beginning. But most people think it was this unified community that got together to put on this show for everybody else. And so there's so many issues that we're still talking about today in society at large that the gays were talking about from the very beginning after Stonewall. It opened up a whole Pandora's box of stuff that we're still dealing with today. So we could tie those threads into it.
Yeah.
Or we could do something like straight pride, like people that don't agree with gay or feel like they're getting pushed out or something, finding something to be proud of within themselves and having not having the gay people have the monopoly on pride and having other people find reasons to celebrate during Pride Month so that it could be for everybody. I mean, those are just ideas, but I think we could take Stonewall as a starting point and come up with some kind of show based around it.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. I'd like that. I honestly, again, I'm fascinated with Stonewall. and people don't know the history, and it's recent history, and it's I think it's neat. I do. Right, and
Okay.
it's like, you know, nowadays if you say that people are getting charged with hate crimes for burning rubber on the gay flag that's painted on the freaking street, right?
I know. That
Like,
happened in
so
Seattle.
it is
I know.
so accepted now, and it's like demanded that you support all this gayness. But back then, like the gay dudes who came out, those dudes were freaking fighters, man. Like to just be out in public and be like, I'm gay. That's insane. I can't even imagine it back then, you know? It took real courage and strength. You know, I admire that kind of shit. So,
Or indifference. Like that was the other. Like some of us just stopped caring completely. We just completely detached from mainstream society and didn't care. Like just stopped caring what it thought. That was another path that a lot of us took, and that's why today, like, I don't care what people think of me because I had to overcome that so early.
yeah, I mean, dude, this is dope. So, if you know any other gay people that want to cam up, and I'm talking real gay people, not these fake half gay people, you know what I'm saying? None of these fake trans that won't cam up. They're invited.
I actually know very few gays. I will try to find some. I know more in person than online, but maybe we can get a mix,
Maybe
like a
not. No,
trans and gay.
maybe not. You know what? That's just you and me. Unless you have,
And then we can start with you and me, and then we can
Yeah.
open it up at the end. And if any gay or trans wants to hop on, they can join, like we did for the baby reindeer thing.
absolutely. All right, dude. I look forward to it. Check for me in Discord when I come up with a date and a time. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Peace, love, and blessings, my dude. And
Subscribe. Let me put his channel. If you subscribe to this guy, I'm telling you,
yes,
he does good stuff. Give him a chance.
yes, yes.
Watch it when the Trump verdict happened. Your video was the one I posted to everybody. I said, if you're following the Trump story, this is the guy to watch.
You're amazing, Jeff. Thank you for all your support. I'll see you soon.
All right. Take care.
Peace.
All righty. I think that was a good evening stream. We'll continue to do more of these, hopefully. I'm going to wind it down. Are they still in the Discord watching shit? Yep. See you tomorrow morning for coffee. At least that's what I'm going to be drinking. Y'all can be having whatever you want. And we'll start the day out. And then I'll do my hero's journey topic midday at 3 p.m. And then I'll do another one of these evening streams at night. And we'll go from there. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day.